Well, well, well. Barrett, you're actually here. Astounding.
Ellie! Ellie, come on. I promised we'd stop by, didn't I?
People make promises all the time, Barrett. And most folks try to avoid Gagarin, not visit it. Anyway, I'm glad you made it out here. We have work to do, don't we? Not exactly, but similar cases. A corporation commits a crime and needs a scapegoat, so they select someone powerless to target.
The quintessential Gagarin tale.
Indeed. Yes. It was my first case as a bright-eyed, optimistic lawyer.
Well, starting your career with a defeat is rough, Ellie.
It was. But in a way, it made me more determined. It's not a resort. It's a working town run by mining corporations. You don't come here unless you need to, and you don't stay unless you have to.
Or unless you're a bright-eyed, optimistic lawyer who genuinely wants to make things better for others. Right, Ellie?
You're kind, Barrett. Yes, I suppose there's that type of person as well. Down to business. Perfect. What do you already know?
So we already know that Irvin worked for Hephaestus Mining Company years ago, and they blamed him for catastrophic economic and ecological issues here on Gagarin.
Yes. He lost his case because he didn't defend himself, and we had almost no evidence without him. He was publicly blamed for the economic woes, and his accounts were seized in compensation.
His account on Gagarin specifically. It was just the amount he was paid years ago for the job.
Right. They would have taken his assets and other settlements, but by law, his death prevented it.
I recall receiving a message asking him to appear in court a day after his funeral.
An unfortunate reality of interplanetary legal communiques, I'm afraid. Well, we can bring the case to a judge here if we have new evidence or a witness.
What about the evidence we found so far?
Yes, well, about that. It's just not enough. Best case scenario, we clear his name and his assets are returned, plus additional compensation. Not on its own, no. It's circumstantial. Helpful to support our claim, but not enough. In order for me to go before a judge, I'd like to have some solid evidence pertaining to motive. The courts won't entertain a challenge to its ruling unless we're sure that something major was missed in the original trial.
What was the motive from the original trial?
We had no solid motive after our witness withdrew his testimony. Yeah, we need something major. Documentation, recordings, a witness, something.
It's been so long. How could we find anything like that?
I've thought about this a lot since the original case. The mine that Irvin worked at was shuttered in 2309. They probably still have documents relating to whatever happened there with him. Not necessarily. To Hephaestus, it might be cheaper to run away and let the dust bury it all.
Not really. All I know is that it's a Hephaestus mine from 20 years ago, somewhere on Gagarin.
I don't have a couple decades to wait for you to search them all, so we'll need to narrow it down. That's where you come in. I don't know which mine he worked at when the incident took place. In theory, you could find that information on a Foundry terminal, if you can access it. You'll need a passcode. That's the hard part. Besides the Foundry records, there also might be something in Irvin's apartment. If he knew he was being framed, he might have held on to some documents there.
Dear Diary, today we created an ecological disaster and then blamed it on an off-worlder. Love Hephaestus.
Funny. But you'd be surprised how often people write down things that get them into serious trouble.
Oh, do tell.
For comparison, I just finished a case against another company that was charged with illegally dumping waste near the town's water supply. Their permits specified a site that would have cost twice as much fuel, so they sent a memo to the driver to dump it at the first available location just outside of town.
They actually wrote that down. Classic. Do you think your Argos extractor's credentials could work? That would be handy.
Barrett, you brought someone with relevant work experience? I admire that.
I'm nothing if not resourceful, Ellie.
If that doesn't work, then maybe talk shop with another worker. See if they can help.
We just need to find the mine where Irvin worked 20-some years ago. How hard could that be?
Let me level with you both. It might not be possible to find enough evidence. But we may as well try, right? At least we'll know one way or another. If you'll excuse me, I have to get some court documents ready for this case.
The Foundry District isn't too far from here. I should still have a key to Irvin's apartment. I hope it's worth our time, but I can't be sure. This.
You from off-world?
Our last head of security was a real hard-ass. Now, if Chief Pretorius chews you out,
Here.
you probably earned it.
Use this key. After you, Captain. He probably never intended. Now I get why he wanted me to look after his plants. No windows, insufficient power for proper lamps. Oh, he must have been miserable. No wonder he wrote so much. Wait a second. What about this safe? I bet it's locked by a terminal. Find anything helpful to the case, Captain? Well, I'll be. If you ever doubted Irvin's genius, look at all this. Still chugging along 20 years later. Hold on. Is that what I think it is? Aha! Will you look at that? If we go to Town Hall, I bet we can get a copy of that hunting license. Is that Irvin's employment contract? Let me see. No idea where mine H363 is, but we could search for it at the Foundry database. All right, we've got some solid leads, it looks like. The employment contract and the hunting license at Town Hall. Much better than liquid or gas leads. That much is evident. It was a bit strange going through Irvin's old things, though. I was hoping for some old pictures, but nothing. What's that you have there? A plant? No, but I did find a few slates that might give us a clue, as well as a reminder to finish a physics paper that I never did. Yes, and it was always a remarkable species with an even more remarkable story. I wonder if the same is true for this guy. Witchcraft, probably. But if you want a more scientific explanation, I have a couple of theories. It could go through states of hibernation, or draw moisture from the air the way epiphytic plants do. There's also that habitat dish Irvin set up for it, which gave it light and nutrients. Still, I'm not ruling out witchcraft. I'm not sure. It might not even be a plant. It might technically be a fungus. But there's probably a reason why Irvin tried his best to keep it alive. When we get back home, I'll go through some of his research notes. It might tell us something more about this plant. Hopefully it's not poisonous. Evolved or altered, Irvin used to experiment a lot with extremophile plant life. Maybe he made the perfect plant buddy for his windowless apartment. In any event, I'll go through Irvin's notes in more detail later. There's probably a flowchart somewhere with this little guy's name on it. Oh, on that note, we should give it a name. I'm thinking something simple yet refined. What do you think of Harvey? Then it's unanimous. Okay, the three of us should get back to it. You, me, and Harvey have a case to solve. Perfect. There's gotta be a way to look up applications. We should go over our evidence, right? I feel like we're really making... Gagarin has seen some better days.
I have to break up one more fight at Lizzie's. She and I are going to have problems.
We're not supposed to leave the canyon. Too dangerous. I was thinking about going for a hike outside.
Can't believe my break is almost over already. Not now. Trying to hype myself to go back to work. Ah, you just moved here thinking it would be different, right? That's how they got me too. Shh, don't say her name around here. If anyone heard that, I'm fired for good. That used to be how it is, but some people grew up here. I don't know if that's a good thing. Nobody works in the mines here thinking we'll get rich, friend.
Well, it's got some amenities and protections, but not as much enforcement. A good balance for some.
It's just the best option for a lot of us right now. Friend, I don't get paid to chit-chat about work. Look, I'm on my break here. Bother somebody else.
Not looking to disrupt your personal time. We're new here.
New here, huh? Well, you can access any paychecks at the computer once per pay cycle. Don't forget your passcode. You can also get the coordinates to your assigned mine there. Easy. Welcome to the team. We drink at Liz's. That information is confidential. I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. I think we can work something out. Maybe so. Yeah, I hope so. That doesn't mean I'm a pushover. You need to get out of here before somebody reports you for whatever you're doing.
The Terrabrook kiosk still busted? I swear, last time that thing worked, there were still humans on Earth. Security is usually good about keeping out strays, but keep your eyes open at night for dust devils and cromlechs, okay?
Can this wait? Pretty busy trying to...
Coordinates look valid to me. Imagine Irvin thinking the same thing all those years ago. Just a job, right? Well, at least we know where to keep looking, right? This is what we do. We're explorers, adventurers. But yeah, other than that, it's my fight. I don't want to get anyone else involved. Essentially, any documentation that screams, Irvin isn't guilty, we made it up. I guess we'll see what state the mine is in. It's possible they collapsed it before they left. We just won't know until we get there. If that's the case, we'll just have to figure something out.
Not looking to chat, friend.
Well, this town hall has seen better days. Hopefully that public access is still working. So, the hunting license was sponsored by Hephaestus after all. It will be very interesting to see this.
Oh, okay. Well,
You're back. Well, what did you uncover?
Thanks, Captain. We searched Irvin's apartment and found an application for a hunting license. Compelling, right?
It's not much. Practically zero. Is that all you found?
Well, we also have a copy of the actual license sponsored by Hephaestus, too. How about that?
That's solid evidence, but likely not enough to bring it to a judge.
Opening an old case is a higher burden of proof, I'm sure.
I didn't mean to leave you with that impression. No, that is incorrect. It helps the case. It shows bad faith on the part of Hephaestus since they claimed he was not hired to hunt for them. But that's just circumstantial. It may help when we argue for a settlement value, though, if we win. Okay, now that is a solid lead. Well, don't let me stop you while you're on a roll, detectives. We can talk more later.
Careful. This place was shuttered 20 years ago. Might have new tenants now. Have fun!
Enemy terminated. Processors damaged.
Please. I've done this 1,000 times. Fire. Gone. Nice work extracting that sample. Is this for science, profit, or snacks?
I will assist you in combat. There are no more enemies remaining.
Whoa, looks like they left a lot of stuff intact when they shuttered this place. I wonder if they were in a hurry or if it was just cheaper to replace it. This looks promising. This looks like administration. Records? Bingo. let's go find Irvin and Helge's lab stations. The evidence we found so far. Let's see if I have space for that. Can I carry that for you? Okay. Let's keep looking around. It was the destruction of the bacterial colonies, not the apex predators. So, they ruined the ecosystem here, and it had nothing to do with Irvin. This is it. This is what Ellie needs to see. May as well, right? Lights are on down here at least. That's good. Ouch! Ah, no problem. It's not uncommon for them to leave all this equipment behind, but it seems rushed. Exhilarating, isn't it? To be the first person to scan these. It's not common for them to leave all this equipment behind, but it seems rushed. Just look at that. Fascinating how life solves the same needs in comparable yet entirely different ways. Oh, I love this part. Catch! Oh, my leg! This must be Helge's station. Looking out over those... Free grenade! Sure. I've got some time to kill. Oh, good. My turn. Have fun. Oh, bad choice. Catch! Just... why? Wonder if those things moved in after Hephaestus left. These things chased them out. Special delivery! This isn't for some wild alien pie recipe, is it? Seems like Helge tried to do the right thing here. I'm sure Ellie would want to see this. He's citing and Hephaestus just ignored him. Want to go over rules first or what?
Easy.
Now what? Find anything worth selling or using? Surprise! Okay, that hurts. Tell me you scanned that one. Okay, good. You got it. Well, there it is. They hired Dr. Hawkson to study the gases and how it related to the mineral extraction process. Standard studies. But he discovered that the extraction process was damaging the ecosystem. Irvin's mentioned here, but his impact on that is clearly unrelated. I think so, but Ellie will be the judge of that. I'd venture it's everything we need to clear Irvin, based on the dates alone. But if we want the full Monty, including getting Hephaestus to admit to the crime, it might take more. We'll have to see. Exactly. This is undeniable. The ecosystem was suffering long before Irvin arrived. That's right. I'm sure Ellie has people that can verify its authenticity. And if not, they can always come here. Should be a lot smoother investigation after evicting a few of the tenants. Let's get out of here. This place creeps me out now. Can't believe they left all this stuff here. Of course. I have room for that. Back to the case. Hey, you might want this. I have something for you.
That's an 8 up at the Vanguard office. She's pretty good. Watch your step. It's easy to take a sudden trip around here.
Welcome to the Vanguard Recruitment Office. Here to join the cause. If you've got a ship and the metal to help keep UC systems safe, the Vanguard has got a place for you. Ah, pleasure to meet you, Captain. So then, to what do I owe the visit? My family's actually lived here since the place was first settled. Gagarin's seen a lot in that time. Wasn't too long ago, this was a booming manufacturing town, churning out mechs for the UC. That all went belly up when the technology was banned post-colony war. Now we've got these outside firms buying up the old factories, bringing in new money. Honestly, I think we'll see this place get a real facelift in our lifetimes. I'd love to get some more people coming in the door. Any interest in helping me distribute some recruiting materials to a couple local concerns? You'll be dropping off recruitment kits to 3 people. Lizzie Aheo at the local watering hole, Chief Pretorius at the security office, and Dr. Keala over at the clinic. I'll pay you for the legwork, but I'll throw in some extra if you can get them to guarantee they'll actually put the materials up. That all sound like it's in your wheelhouse? If I knew how to do that, I wouldn't have to pay someone. But I trust you'll figure something out. So, does that mean you'll do it? Good. Once you're done, come back here. I'll have your credits waiting.
See? That's why we get along. Ellie! Hello?
Welcome back, detectives.
Ellie, I sent you all the data from the mine already. As I'm sure you know.
Welcome back, you two. How was the trip to the mine?
You're gonna love this, Ellie.
Okay, someone better tell me. Come on.
We found the coordinates to Irvin's old work site and went there. Huge battle. Fire, explosions. Pew, 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 pew.
Barrett, please.
You should have seen the plants in there, too. Weird stuff. Anyway, you read over the documents we found there, right? What do you think?
What you both found in that mine is remarkable. These documents show that the chemicals released by the mining process contaminated the ecology even before Irvin was tasked with removing the predators. And they also show that Helgi informed Hephaestus of the issue, and it was repeatedly ignored. And with that, I think we've got ourselves a case, my friends.
Yes! That's what I wanted to hear, Ellie. Woo!
Yes, but it's still likely to lose. Because what we really need now is Helgi as our witness, and that is a problem. Helgi isn't an ideal witness at all. He was our star witness the first time, and he never showed up. Plus, he's got a reputation around town. After he quit, he went a bit weird.
I can handle a bit weird. I know the captain can too.
Clearly. But the judge might feel differently. It might be worth finding some character witnesses too while you're looking for him. I'm glad you're taking it in stride. It's just, for a case with this much science, we need the man who wrote the claims to back them up. Maybe even explain it in layman's terms. That's also a bit tricky. He's hard to find. Doesn't really stay in one place for long. We could, but I think we'd lose the case, bluntly. We can verify these documents are real, but Hephaestus can counter by attacking Helgi's character. They'll label him a disgruntled employee and then find a dozen independent scientists to confirm Irvin was at fault. But with Helgi in court, he can explain the science and help me challenge any countering theories during cross-examination. You might ask Dr. Kayala. She checks up on folks who fall through the cracks sometimes. You'd have to convince her to tell you where he is. That might be hard.
Sounds like we're making a stop at the med clinic. We'll be back when we convince Helgi to be a witness.
Listen, if he refuses, then he refuses. Can't force him.
Yeah, we don't want to press him too hard. The last thing we need is him refuting what he wrote. This is going to take a light touch, but I think we can handle it. This.
Do you need medical assistance? Are you injured? Is there something I can help you two with?
Do you happen to know Dr. Helgi Hodgson? We're trying to get his help with something.
Sorry, who are you exactly?
We're detectives. Self-taught and unaffiliated. Freelance detectives. With the emphasis on the free part.
Wait, what? Detectives? Sorry, I don't think I know what you're talking about. I treat anyone who walks in my doors, if I'm able to. No, not really. I mean, there's Irvin the Slaughterer and Irvin the Scourge of Gagarin, but I doubt that's the same person, right? I'm sorry, I'm not a tour guide. You'll have to ask somebody else.
We're trying to help him. And Gagarin, actually.
Only every single time I see him. But listen, I don't have time to chat. Ellie's a good person. That bodes well, but I can't violate my oaths. I'm sorry. Listen, I can say that Helgi took up a job working at Clint's store just down the way. I saw him there stacking boxes the last time I picked up an order. I've got to get back to my work here, so if there's nothing else... If it's patient medical records you're after, I'll remind you, I'm not at liberty to discuss that.
We're thinking of taking Hephaestus to court with Dr. Hawkson as a witness. Now, given his situation, we're worried the defense might cast aspersions on his character, even question his mental health.
That's unfortunate, but not surprising. Look, if he agrees to testify and grants me permission, I could vouch for his well-being.
Thanks, Doc. If he does end up testifying, we'll definitely need you for the trial. Ellie Yankton will be in touch.
No promises, given patient confidentiality, but I'll do my best. Zenaida warned me this day might be coming. Look, I presume you're not getting paid if I refuse delivery. So here, I'll take them. I'm not about to pull credits out of someone else's pockets. But this is a medical office. I can't in good conscience hang those things up. First, do no harm and all. I think you've been gravely misinformed about what a doctor does. Now, I'm just not comfortable posting this sort of material around the office, all right? I think you're just wasting your time here. I think we can work something out. All right, I'll put them up. Tell Zenaida she wins, okay?
Thanks, officer. You from off-world? Where? Lost? Trick to the catwalks? Just keep turning right. You'll get where you're going eventually.
If you have any problems, you should talk to Chief Pretorius. She'll help you out.
Welcome to Clint's. Whatever you need, I'm sure I've got it lying around somewhere. Except mech parts. Don't trade those anymore, so don't waste your time asking. Well, for one, it's illegal in UC space. Making mech platforms used to be Gagarin's bread and butter. So, since they were banned in the armistice, I get 1 to 2 folks a month asking what kind of relics I might have lying around. But I'm not about to risk a contraband fine at my age. So that's why I just lay it out up front. If you need anything, just follow the sound of falling inventory. You'll find me eventually. Gagarin. It was a military town until the end of the Colony War. Mechs were our specialty. Everyone always blabbers about Mars making the highest performance machines. But if you needed a system that wouldn't let you down in a pinch, you piloted a Gagarin. But that all dried up when the mechs were banned with the armistice. Now, we've got these new firms coming in. Arcmite, Centauri Mills. Claim they're here to revitalize the city. Which is funny, since their employees refuse to step foot in most of it. Plenty more competition for stores like mine, that's for sure. UC had a lot more money to throw around in those days. During the war, I couldn't keep the shelves stocked. At first, because of all the demand. But later, because the Freestar Collective flotillas were so damn good at picking off UC merchant craft. But the biggest difference now? The quiet. Not just because most of the forges and mines shut down. It was the testing. Firms used to drive their prototype mechs out into the canyons, way beyond the city. but you could still hear the guns all the way from here. It was like, shoo, thunder. So when the thunder stopped, good way to think about it. Hopefully I'll be around long enough to see the end result. Funny you ask, because I'd like to know too. He owes me a sizable debt. Enough that he's no longer allowed in my store. I don't like denying service to anyone, but it's the principle of the matter. I've seen him around, but never in one place, except when he needs money. I offered him a job, but he showed up to work drunk one day and I had to let him go. I don't have any ill will toward him. Sure, the credits I'd like to have back, but only because it'll mean he's gotten his life together. Nobody is going to know where he is aside from someone who knows the underbelly of Gagarin. And that is Lizzie up at the bar. That's who you need to ask. You sure you got the right person? Helgi and I have had several run-ins in the past. Me? Borrow from Helgi? Not that I recall.
We just need someone to serve as his character witness, given your long-standing reputation in the city.
Sure, I can say a few words. I like Helgi, but fair warning, I'm not gonna lie for him. If I'm testifying under oath, it'll be full of the good and the bad.
Wouldn't expect anything less.
Hey, keep your eyes open. Sounds like one of Reliant Medical's regular couriers.
The Terabrew kiosk still busted? I swear, last time that thing worked, there were still humans. Looking for a drink? Don't serve anything fancy, so if you're about to ask for wine spritz or whatever, you can hop right back on your ship to New Atlantis. More of these things? Fine. Give them here. I'll make sure they find their way to the incinerator with the earlier batches. Oh yeah? Fine. Let's discuss. I think we can work something out. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to help her out. She does tip well. Okay, I'll put up the damn posters. Now buzz off before I regret my decision. Ah, yes. The detectives. I heard about you.
A reputation already? I'm impressed.
Slow news day, I guess. I serve drinks here, friend.
We were told that you are a local crime...
We serve drinks here. Here's a list of our specials for today.
There's nothing on here.
Oh, that's strange. Here, let me fix that. Don't worry, it's just the one sale today.
Oh, right. Of course, it's a number. Here you go, Captain. All yours.
The service I provide is worth quite a lot. I hear you. I mean, it might be okay. I'm glad you understand the position I'm in here. I'm trying to be reasonable here. All right, all right. Consider it a favor. Sending the coordinates now. Wait, so let me get this straight. You want the bartender to testify he's not a lousy drunk? All right, I'm no lawyer, but seems like a bad move. Also, it sounds like work. And I don't work for free.
If it's about creds, you might earn a lot of brownie points with the locals if you helped with that. Points they'd spend at your bar.
As long as I'm still alive to spend it. But fine. If you get Helgi to show up, I'll take some of the heat off of him. Happy to take your credits anytime.
I remember watching shiny new mechs rolling onto ships. It's been a long time since then.
Watch it!
I just want to be left alone. Understand?
They're conscripting security to search all the abandoned buildings for heat leeches. Guess who's got the next shift?
Apparently the corporate execs are talking about building their own priority catwalk above the city. You been up there? Good luck.
I don't suppose you're here to tell me I've won a ticket to a new planet, huh?
Sorry, Doctor. Not today. We came to Gagarin to investigate Irvin Mandani's contract with the mining company a long time ago. Ring any bells?
Irvin, yeah. Biologist. Hunter. Yeah, I remember him. Why? Who are you people? Then find a history slate. An ancient history slate. Because that's what it is.
Please. Irvin was once one of your colleagues. He was the one Hephaestus blamed for an ecological disaster about 20 years ago. Do you remember any of that?
No, I don't remember lies. He passed on. That's a kick in the pants, isn't it? Well, sorry for your loss and all that, but I can't bring back the dead or anything. So you can go now. Thanks.
Look, I know this is strange. We show up out of the blue about things that happened decades ago. But right now, nobody save us knows the truth. And that means we're the only ones who can clear Irvin's name.
And what of it? You probably think the sky is blue too. Well, you'd be wrong. It's whatever color Hephaestus says it is.
Only if you let them. You're a scientist. Your words matter. That's why we need you to testify.
Testify? The trial is over, the verdict rendered. In case you two clowns didn't get the memo. Because I tried before, and they threatened me. 20 years ago. I still wake up in fear almost every night. They said if I ever left Gagarin, I left my wife to protect her. She didn't deserve any of this. Any of my mess. Believe it or not, I don't need or want your money. I made enough of it by working for massive mining corporations. I don't need to risk anything else. I remember not to talk with people who come asking questions about powerful corporations. Ellie Yankton? But why? It doesn't matter. Nothing's changed. I cannot do that. Why is this so hard to understand here? Yeah, been a thorn in my side, back and foot for 20 years. Maybe it's time I just pull it out. I know, there's a lot on the line. I can see that. You may be right. Fine, you've convinced me. I'd be willing to testify on one condition. I want to know what happened to Irvin. Because when he disappeared, let's just say I had an epiphany. Hephaestus didn't need to say a word. That's when I knew the threats against me and my family were real.
Dr. Hawkson, it wasn't Hephaestus that took Irvin's life. It was the war. Irvin was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Caught in the crossfire.
Then I am sorry for your loss. It won't change the past for either of us. But I will testify. And maybe, wherever Irvin is, you'll be glad that we can finally stick it to those assholes at Hephaestus.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah, don't get all mushy on me now. I need a drink.
Not supposed to stay out after dark, but it's too hot to play during the day.
One time I jumped off the cliffs of a planet with almost no gravity. Fun at first. Helgi agreeing to testify is a great help. We might need witnesses to vouch for his character, though. Someone in security, maybe?
Okay, you two, lay it on me. Did you...
Well, we've got good...
Okay. Interesting. Well...
What do you think, Ellie?
You've done a pretty...
So what's the verdict?
I am
Optimism is good?
We'll likely be able to... The only... All in all... And I've got to...
Agreed, Ellie. Helgi agreeing to testify is a great help. We might need witnesses to vouch for... Hey, you might want this.
I heard the story about a kid who was walking and he fell through the catwalks. Never found him. All because he didn't study.
You want to know what I think about all these new businesses buying up the town? No comment.
You think you're hot? Try wearing security armor.
The drop-offs are the... Dr. Keala's not going to give you a hard time. But she's also no pushover. Door's always open.
Hey, what's drunk? People seem to really like it.
Wonder if there are any mining... I'd kill for an ice-cold boom pop right now.
I was thinking about going for a hike outside the canyon.
You been to Clint recently? You get crushed under all that crap yet?
Instead.
All these fancy new businesses going up, and we still can't get them to open up at chunks.
Centauri, are you taking coffee orders? I'd kill for a cappuccino right now.
Really? Any chance you got names?
No. But I can tell you what they look like.
Okay. We'll have you come down to the station, get you in front of a sketch artist. Thank you for coming forward.
A hazmat squad came through here the other day. Said they're cleaning out any heat leeches. Public safety
What?
concern.
I look like the
think
welcoming
I missed
committee or something? Then get out of my face.
Security is usually good about keeping out, so I don't miss all the extra heat from the old forges, that's for sure.
You're not on my calendar. Is this Arkmite related? I'm on Gagarin to make money, not friends. Yes? Arkmite? We're the galaxy's premier heavy equipment firm. Diggers, construction robotics, that sort of thing. And we're on Gagarin to take advantage of an opportunity. The city's old mech factories have been sitting dormant for years now. But they're open again thanks to us. We've automated the old assembly lines and brought plenty of money to the city in the process. It's a win-win for all involved. Oh, Chief Pretorius? She thinks Gagarin is just peachy being poor and run down. Has no vision. But Arkmite does. Thanks to our investment, the largest formerly shuttered mech plant in the city has been refurbished and is churning out some of the finest heavy equipment in the settled systems. And we're sharing that vision of a revived Gagarin with others. We've been bringing in investors, showing them all the potential of this place. We were only asking the chief to make sure the areas we'd planned to visit didn't have any malcontents running around. Unfortunately, some of the locals don't appreciate all we've done for the city. We expect they will. After all, what truer sign of respect is there than a high-paying salary? What gave it away? I was born in New Atlantis, but the business environment is so stuffy there. Centuries-old firms set in their ways. Gagarin is gritty, exciting, an opportunity for growth. And isn't that what business and life are all about? Next time, let's schedule something, okay?
This place is state-of-the-art, so try not to break it.
Stay off the production floor, all right? If you lose a limb, it's on you to collect it.
Arkmite will not be held responsible for any harm you sustain during your visit. If you wish to place an order, please speak to Ms. Morrison.
Arkmite sunk a lot of capital into this place. Guess they...
Why is no one talking about bringing back mechs? City was fine before Freestar banned them.
Half the city was shut down the other day for a corporate investment. They hiked the damn canyon floor just to get to work.
Man, could I use a vacation?
Our last head of security was a real hard ass. Now, if Chief Pretorius chews you out, you probably earned it.
Don't get in the way of the robots. I'm not responsible if they step on your toes. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but I've got a lot of shipments to process still, so let's cut to the chase. Are you here to claim a shipment in storage, or do you have some other shipping concern? Did one of my robots wander off again? Was it something else entirely? Well, it's owned by Unified Transport. We employ a mostly robotic staff. Fewer mistakes that way. We do short-term storage, long-term. I guess that's pretty much it. It's a warehouse. We do shipping. Enough said. You'd be surprised. Gagarin's had a bit of a resurgence lately as an industrial hub. It seems like every week we're storing and shipping more and more cargo. That reminds me, if this keeps up, we're going to need more robots. What do you expect? Robots never get tired. They don't need breaks. They can carry heavy loads. They're faster and more efficient in every way for this kind of work. And if I'm being honest, I prefer their company. When you've spent most of your life in space away from people, you learn to trust technology more than humanity.
It's a hike. Get out of the damn city. Remember what the horizon is?
With dust devils, gypsies.
You just want to go to Lizzie's?
No one's gonna eat us there. I've had more active conversations with robots. Back to work, then.
I hate it when the walkways creak.
I don't think you're supposed to be here.
If you have questions, please approach a designated United Transport spokesperson.
Gagarin has been struggling for years.
Catch you at Lizzie's later?
As soon as my shift's over.
Your turn to buy.
What? Protecting your precious home from ruffians and vagrants gets me nothing?
Have a nice day.
I'm sorry, but if this isn't directly related to Reliant medical business, you should really schedule an appointment. I better get back to it.
Share the catwalks, all right? I don't want to have to fish anyone else.
Been an uptick in strongly worded graffiti recently. Guess not everyone's a fan of the new firms coming in. I did it this time, Lizzie.
All my relationships end in late night
How better?
Lizzie, you still in tonight for the thing?
I don't have the slightest idea what you're talking
Wait, Rick said you were.
I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about now. Shut your mouth and never bother me while I'm working again. Understand?
Did you factor in the local gravity before doing that?
Anything I can help you with? Looks to me like you're already in pretty good shape.
Gagarin was a one-industry city for a long time. Now, we got a little bit of everything.
Someone painted some choice words on the front of the Arcmite factory the other day. Their robots took it down pretty quick, though.
You heading outside the city? Be careful. He doesn't kill you.
End of the colony war hit Gagarin hard. The city's just finally getting back on its feet.
Get you something?
Yeah, whiskey. Make it a double. Was that kind of weak?
Well, let's see if we can't smooth out the wrinkles in that gray matter then. First one's on me.
You're too good to me.
Oh, I know.
The factory is largely automated, but when the machines misbehave, that's where we come in.
Let's get back to Ellie. She'll want to know how this went.
Okay, you two, lay it on me. Did you find Helgi? Did he agree to testify?
Well, we've got good news and... well, that's it. Just more good news.
Okay. Does that mean he said yes? Well, that is perfect. She's probably the best person to call on should Hephaestus decide to play dirty. Well, you two have done all that you could. Now it's time to hand the baton off to me.
What do you think, Ellie? Do we have a chance?
The evidence you've gathered is impressive. It truly is.
So what's the verdict? In this case, I'd say spoilers are appreciated.
I almost never say this because I don't want to jinx it, but I think this case is a slam dunk.
Huzzah! That's what I like to hear.
I think we can do everything on our checklist. Clear Irvin of any wrongdoing, charge Hephaestus with the cover-up, and even restore Helgi, Dr. Hawkson's standing in the scientific community. All in all, though, really outstanding work. We wouldn't have gotten this far without your efforts. And I've got to imagine that wherever Irvin is, he appreciates it too.
Agreed, Ellie. And thanks for being our anchor in this. We should probably get out of Ellie's way and let her do her thing. We can talk more in private. Wow, we actually did it! Solved the case. And hopefully cleared Irvin's name. I feel like... what's the old saying? A great weight has been lifted off my shoulders? But it's actually true. I feel like I'm 80% biomass and 20% aerogel. Come on, let's not ruin the moment. Although, we did do a lot of walking. I bet I really am lighter. I hope so. It's always a tug-of-war between the workers and the mining corps. But there's one thing we've got in our favor. There's more of us than there are of them. All it takes is for the people to realize it. Ellie would know better than I, but I doubt it'll be anytime soon. These things tend to involve a lot of red tape. It's a special kind of adhesive that makes you stick to old filing cabinets and manila envelopes. I'm feeling great. Although I could do with some wine and cheese. Why stop at emotional satisfaction when we can indulge in the culinary too? But if I can be serious for a moment, thank you. I couldn't have done this without your help. That makes two of us. Three if you count Harvey. And who wouldn't? He's practically family. In fact, Harvey's got a little explorer in him too. According to this slate I found, turns out that our spiky friend's been all across the galaxy. I doubt it. Harvey's a wanderer. Getting lost is how he finds his way home. We've been through a lot, haven't we? I had forgotten what it was like to work with someone so closely. On top of everything else we've done together and with Constellation, yeah, I think so. Investigating Irvin's case with you is something I'll remember forever. I've come to realize that some events, some people, stand out as pillars of my life. Is it? Well, I guess it is. You noticed that, huh? I suppose I should just keep going and get it all out of my system. It'll do me some good. We only get a brief moment in this universe to interact, to feel, to be who we are and experience the range of emotions that our bodies and minds have evolved to comprehend. And the definition of that changes for everybody. If one is fortunate, you might even notice events and people changing you while it is in motion. Like any group, Constellation is only capable of doing that because of the people within it. I've explored many worlds, and I've worked with Constellation for most of my life. I cherish those memories. But you have changed me as a person forever. I don't want to look back years from now and wonder what if. I need to know what you think about us. You took the words right out of my mouth. Now, mind if we get back to exploring this beautiful, mysterious universe with me, Captain?
I have to break up one more fight at Lizzie's. She and I are gonna... Been an uptick in strongly worded graffiti.
Tell me you're here to just report a good old-fashioned crime? If I have to deal with one more corporate exec begging for special treatment, I'll eat my badge. News in there that start coming from my people sooner or later. Sure. Give 'em here. I'll throw 'em up in the office. Yup. That old piece of leather necks helped me out of more jams than I care to remember. I owe her. Sure. Just tell Zeneda she's buying my next drink, alright?
You're not gonna tell my mom I'm out here, right?
One giant leap for humankind.
Chief Pretorius, I expect, will be the easiest of the bunch. Pulled her bacon out of enough fires to have earned a little loyalty. You managed to get those materials passed out? Folks didn't give you too much trouble, I hope. Really? Never thought in a million years Lizzie and Doc Keala would play ball. Good work. Here, what I owe you for the deliveries. And for your top-notch negotiation skills. Thanks again for helping out.
If they can all do magic, why does everyone have a horse?
Get that around. You know, ride places.
Okay, but they live in the sky, right?
That's a really good point. Maybe I should...
I have something for you.
locked in.
Greetings, Captain.
Is that a serious question? If we're talking...
Hello. Word is you had to steal classified tech from a UC station. I hope the commander knows what's
Anything new to report? The commander appreciates the sacrifice you've made, going undercover. Excellent. Let me have it, and I'll upload it to our database. Cost overruns, siphoning project funds? How deep does this well go? Our forensic accounting team is going to have their hands full. I'll send this to Mass right away. Let's just hope that a few rotten apples within the UC haven't spoiled the entire bunch. That it? We were aware that Miss LaRue was involved with Fergus Wickham. When her body was recovered, SysDef assumed he was the culprit. Sounds like we had it wrong. Should have pinned the murder on this Clay Dietrich perp. Well, we'll have to clear that up. Nice find. Have any more? All right. Keep up the good work. I suppose, though the commander won't be thrilled that I told you, so keep it to yourself. So, when I was running with the Crimson Fleet, I put together... You say that, but most of those pirates acted like greedy children. Spent more time breaking up share disputes than I care to remember. My first mate was Arya Fikes, the toughest of them. The only problem was that she had a hell of a temper. The smallest things could just... Well, the positives outweighed the negatives. At first. Anyway, there was this one particular incident where we had a hot tip on a freighter supposedly running heavy with... The second we dropped out of grav space, we knew it was a trap. Somehow we managed to take out all of their attack ships. I grabbed Arya and we boarded the freighter. We were being arrogant. There was nothing stylish. We fought our way to the bridge and the crew surrendered. That's when the Vigilance arrived. I watched it vaporize my ship and crew in seconds. Commander Akande radioed over for us to give up, turn ourselves in. Arya went wild. Said she'd start executing crew if they didn't let us leave. The commander tried to talk some sense into her, but she was too far gone. I knew right then she'd rather die than surrender. You can't even imagine. Commander Akande promised to be lenient if we let the crew go. When we didn't reply, he sent over a ship to board us. I saw Arya put her gun to one of the hostages' heads and saw that look in her eye. I could actually see her squeezing the trigger. Next thing I knew, a shot rang out. I'll never forget that look on Arya's face as she fell to the ground with the wound in her chest. Looked down at the gun in my hand like it belonged to someone else. I still don't know why I did it. That's what I keep telling myself. I hope to God we're both right. Long story short, I spent a year in jail, then Keebway recruited me. I guess he saw something in me, a desire to turn my life around. I busted my ass to get where I am today. First mate of the Vigilance. Ironic I'd end up in Arya's position, don't you think? It took a while, and a lot of reflection, but I know we made the right choice. Had I continued down the road I was traveling back then, we wouldn't be speaking right now. I owe everything to Commander Akande for giving me a second chance. According to my superiors at MAST, we've provided them enough data to wrap up this portion of the operation and call it a success. You've brought us a mountain of evidence against the Crimson Fleet and uncovered some unexpected criminal activity. You've done a hell of a job. Oh yeah, without a doubt. The brig is filled with prisoners waiting for trial. We've drained the Crimson Fleet's credits and solved a few mysteries along the way. I'd say that qualifies as making a difference. Oh? Well, I see we've rubbed off on you more than I expected. Anyway, here. I wanted to give you this. It isn't from Commander Akande or the UC. It's from me. It was my sidearm when I ran with the Crimson Fleet. Something special I paid a hell of a lot of money for. Now it's yours. Not true. You gave me hope. That's the best present I could ever ask for. All right, enough of this mushy nonsense. Time to get back to work.
Okay, hello.
It seems you had quite the eventful mission on your hands. Betraying Juan Dayu for cover was a dangerous gambit, but it seems to have paid off. You still have the Crimson Fleet's trust, and you were able to spare lives in the process. As you've probably guessed, not very well. Keeping Mast out of the loop regarding this particular mission has proven exceptionally difficult. But we've managed to keep your involvement in the dark. Sparing the lives of the soldiers on SY-920 has definitely made our position with the top brass much easier. Lieutenant Toft can explain.
We have operatives watching the Crimson Fleet's known contacts at all times. In this case, they observed you making contact with Juan. They continued to shadow your progress until you made your departure from New Atlantis on the Jade Swan. And, if I may, I'd like to echo the Commando's sentiment. I have some comrades on SY-920, and I appreciate the restraint you showed by sparing their lives.
And on behalf of the United Colonies and Commander Natara, I thank you.
No thanks needed. We're just doing what anybody would do.
Excuse me, sir. I hate to interrupt, but there's still the matter of the comm spike to discuss.
Yes, of course, Lieutenant. Time is short, and we should get to the matter at hand. Please give me your report. That all depends on what you brought back from your mission. Aside from your eyewitness testimony, I assume you have the usual evidence that could lead to her incarceration?
I can take it off your hands once we complete your debriefing, but at the moment, I'm far more concerned about the comm spike.
With the acquisition of the comm spike, the fleet is one step closer to Krix's legacy. And the more people we arrest, the greater the chance that your infiltration is discovered. We're working against the clock here, so let's start by discussing the status of the comm spike. Then it's just a matter of time before she reverse engineers it to fit the fleet's purposes. So what does Delgado have you doing next? Has he solved the Bannock 4 problem? Bannock 4 is an EM-class gas giant. Your ship will need special protection to ensure the electromagnetic disturbances in the planet's atmosphere don't fry your circuits. The conduction grid?
That's brilliant. But is it actually possible? It's 80-year-old tech. Sorry, sir. The conduction grid is how Neon generates its power. It essentially absorbs lightning strikes and converts it to usable energy. It would take a hell of an engineer to modify the technology to handle Bannock 4's EM field. An engineer, like Jasmine Durand.
That's the case. Inform our contacts on Neon that our operative will be touching down there in the near future.
Absolutely, sir.
And before you depart, I wanted you to know that your efforts are helping us gain interest among my superiors. They're finally beginning to believe that we can take down the Crimson Fleet and make amends for the UC's embarrassing mistake. The fact that our common enemy owes its existence to the United Colonies, of course. It was the riot at the lock, touched off by Jasper Creeks, that inspired him to create the Crimson Fleet in the first place.
Thanks to your assistance, we'll be able to rectify that mistake, and Mast will authorize an all-out assault.
Of course I am, but it's a calculated risk. It's long overdue. All right, I suppose that's all for now. I'll be looking forward to your next report. Good luck. And please, be careful.
It's good to have you back. What can I do for you?
Best to stay focused if you can. Stick to your business. Getting drawn into diversions here is more dangerous than you'd expect.
Good day, Captain.
You might want this. Dusty. Dusty! Dust. Yes, right. Here, check this out. Lost in my thoughts, but glad to be back. Go do what you gotta do, friend.
What's happening, darling? Let me guess. You missed me and you couldn't stay away.
I'm more than ready. Let's go.
Sarah! Sarah, good to see you again, my dear friend. I expect to hear some exciting tales when you two return.
I'll try, but I doubt any of them will compare to the spectacular tales that we hear you spin. any clue how irresponsible you're acting right now?
Captain, do you require my assistance?
Looks like some sort of checkpoint ahead. It's probably to see that shroud covering me on? Believe it or not, you're looking at the only city in the settled systems that powers itself from lightning.
Want to challenge your instincts and hone those corporate skills?
That side's a bad place for tourists these days. Whole area's gone to hell.
The Astral Lounge got you down. You're in the right place.
You looking to get zoned? Yeah, you know, dusted, blazed, frosted, high. If you weren't here to buy some Aurora, then what the heck do you want? Oh, it's not an act. If you're looking to score some Aurora, we can talk later. But for now, since you're clearly the rook that Delgado sent, let's talk business. Save both of us some time. Turn around, fly back to the key, and tell the big boss that I'm in no mood to screw around. We'll make this deal when he starts taking me seriously. Come on, give me a break. You're not exactly a top dog over there at the key, now are you? Sending me a rook to handle a job this risky is a goddamn insult. And I'm getting tired of the fleet not taking me seriously. I spent the last 3 months setting up this job, burned 2 contacts and a hell of a lot of credits. The whole time, I'm also keeping Bayou off our backs. That idiot even catches a whiff of money and he latches onto you like a damn leech.
The few times I've dealt with Benjamin Bayou in the past have been rather unpleasant, to say the least.
All right, I get the point. Let's just get this over with. I don't have a ton of time to stand here and screw around, so I'm gonna make this as clear as possible. You want the conduction grid tech, then you're gonna have to download it from the power core of Generdyne's facility in the underbelly. Some fancy name the brain-trusted Generdyne calls the room where all the power from the conduction grid is stored. Cute, right? Hey, don't look at me. I didn't build the damn thing. All I know is that the tech inside the place is valuable. Beneath your feet, genius. It's the lowest level of Neon. Generdyne and Xenofresh are down there, along with some of the finest cuisine in the city. I'm talking about Generdyne's main power plant for Neon. All their cushy offices might be up in the trade tower, but the nuts and bolts of their operation are running beneath the city. Love the confidence. But before you pull the ripcord, I'm afraid I need to add a bit of a wrinkle. While you're inside Generdyne, I need you to plant a virus into their system. It's a simple side job that'll earn you some credits. I think you can handle it. The elevator doesn't exactly go to the top floor in that head of yours, does it? Everything in the Crimson Fleet is accomplished through a decent helping of give and take. As in, I'm not going to give you the information to get your precious data unless you take this virus and upload it like I asked. Well, too bad. If I'm risking my neck for this, I'm damn well gonna get something out of the deal. Generdyne has all sorts of tasty, valuable snacks in their databanks, and I want access. Here, take this microdrive and access the computer in Brayson Bayou's office. It'll do the rest on its own. Yep, nepotism has its advantages. Word on the street is that the Generdyne gig is the only one Benjamin could get for his younger brother. He's not the brightest. Let's just say that information can be just as lucrative as selling Aurora and keep it at that, okay? But don't worry, I promised Delgado that when it came to the conduction grid data, that's his territory. I won't touch it. Oh no. Are you scared, little rabbit? Well, don't worry. I've got you covered. Generdyne's got their place locked down tight. But, as usual, the weak link comes from the people that work there. I recommend you start with Ayumi Komiko, an upper-level exec at Generdyne. Get your hands on her security pass, and you'll have the run of the place. You should be asking what won't you need it for. The facility is closed to the general public, and they keep all of their important files encrypted. Not to mention the fact that there's gonna be all sorts of nasty security inside you're gonna want to bypass. The catch is that Komiko's having a little fling with Benjamin Bayou. Anyway, you can find Komiko at Euphorica. Talk to the owner of the place, Micah. She'll point you in the right direction. As for dealing with Komiko herself, she's got an office in the trade tower if you're looking for something incriminating. The rest is up to you, Rook. When you're done, come meet me at the VIP booth in the Astral Lounge so we can celebrate. Not much to tell, really. Thanks to their nifty little conduction grid, they're able to provide power for the entirety of Neon. Damn thing was supposed to be some kind of miracle invention, turning lightning into usable electricity. Neat trick, right? Only catch is that you need a planet like Voli, where lightning strikes often enough to make it feasible. Guess how many of those exist? Ding! If you said 0, you're absolutely correct. So Generdyne has been in dire financial straits for years. It's that hideous canopy over the center. Some folks around here, you can't miss it. Just... You're not the only one. The only reason they haven't folded is because they charge exorbitant fees for power. I'm talking 2 or 3 times what it costs in New Atlantis. Okay, now, on to round 2 of our little game. Guess who has a major stake in Generdyne and soaks up all that delicious profit? Ooh, not even close. The answer you were looking for isn't another corporation. It's a person. It's good old Benny Bayou. That son of a bitch has a finger in every single pie in this sorry excuse for a city. Generdyne's no different. All off the books, of course. How the hell do you think Grayson Bayou got the job down there? It wasn't because of his good looks or smarts, I can promise you that. Nepotism gets him the job at Generdyne as their chief technician, yet the guy doesn't know the first thing about electrical engineering. They obviously invented the position just to give the moron a salary. One of the many poorly kept secrets in Neon. Frankly, I think he's such a screw-up. Benjamin Bayou stuck his ass in that facility under the city to keep him out of the limelight. Businesswoman, tough as hull plating. She's the COO at Generdyne, and I can assure you she didn't get there with her winning smile. As for her relationships, well, that's a bit more complicated. Publicly, she's having a bit of a fling with Benjamin Bayou. But rumor has it that she's just using Bayou and having a little bit of fun on the side with Micah, the owner of Euphorica. If I were you, I wouldn't bother trying to appeal to her good nature. She's a manipulative person who uses people to get what she wants. Pretty laid-back club over in Ebbside. Owner's name is Micah. She's young, but sharp as a razor, and has gang muscle to back her up. The little Aurora lounge she has tucked away in the building is the real gold mine. Said she modeled it after opium dens on old Earth. Bayou takes a cut of the profits, of course. The rumor says it's way less than he usually takes. No one knows why. Don't let Komiko push you around. She isn't as tough as she seems.
How are you holding up?
I used to be an actuary.
Here on Neon.
Ever look in the mirror and wish you could see another version?
I'm not.
If Benjamin Bayou's ego was as combustible as... I've heard that Benjamin Bayou has a private penthouse at the top of the tower.
Yeah, what? Is this important? I'm really busy right now. Let me save you some time. If you're here for a job, we're not hiring. If you're here about the conduction grid tour, we shut it down a year ago. See that big yellow thing that's draped over almost the entire city? That's the grid. Besides looking like some sort of madman's modern art piece, well, like I said, it's shut down. Had to cut the entire tour staff too. Look, I'm sorry if I'm blowing up at you, but I've got a ton of problems and no time to deal with them all. I'm afraid that things aren't going terribly well around here. Why? Because I'm sick and tired of putting on a corporate face and pretending that nothing's wrong. It's do or die time around here. We can either spin our wheels forever or, worse, go under completely. I don't care if I'm allowed to or not. I'm happy to get this off my chest. The conduction grid went online almost 75 years ago. And since then, we haven't developed a single groundbreaking innovation. At this point, the money we're taking in as a power utility barely covers the waste that's going on in the research and development division. Unfortunately, no. I'm in third on the corporate ladder. One step above me is Ayumi Komiko. She's the COO of the company. And then there's Kaito Harada, our esteemed CEO who never seems to be around. No, of course not. We still produce smaller power systems and backup generators, but nothing even close to the magnitude of the conduction grid. Genodyne needs to come out with something spectacular to put us back on the map. If not, we'll remain stagnant forever, or worse. You'd think that, right? The problem is that Brayson Bayou, Administrator Bayou's brother, is currently heading up the R&D division. I swear to you, the man doesn't know the first thing about power systems or electromagnetic technology. I can give you 117 reasons. Our employees. If Genodyne goes completely under, how many of them will lose their jobs? How many might get cut in a restructure? My position puts me in charge of the welfare of our personnel. I can't in good conscience allow that to happen to them. Isn't it obvious? Administrator Bayou clearly leaned on Ms. Komiko to get his brother hired. It's nepotism in action. Of course there are. But so far, Brayson has suppressed most of their work through pure jealousy. Look, I'm running out of options. No one above me seems to care what's going on, but I'm willing to take a chance. I have a full report on Brayson that I want to send to Administrator Bayou, but I don't know if he can be trusted. What do you think I should do? It describes my aggravation with how badly Brayson Bayou is running the Research and Development Division. I'm also including a list of all the failed experiments he's greenlit, and how much they've cost Genodyne as proof of his incompetence. I'm praying someone as financially successful as Administrator Bayou might be able to put aside his ego and look at this from a business perspective. You know what? You're absolutely right. I can't allow Brayson to run this company into the ground. Hey, look, thanks for helping me out with this. It's been on my mind for a long time. If there's anything else you need, any questions at all, feel free to ask. As long as it doesn't get me into serious trouble, ask away. Whoa. Okay, that's crossing the line. I can't discuss company matters like this. Maybe need to think about it. Yeah, I hope so. I really hope so. Okay, listen. You didn't hear this from me, but I know she's up to something with Benjamin Bayou. He was in her office a few weeks ago, and they had some kind of shouting match. It got really heated until Bayou stormed out the door. I don't know what it was about, but I happen to know Miss Komiko keeps audio recordings of all her meetings in her safe. And before you ask, yes, I'll unlock it for you. Just don't tell anyone I helped, okay? Because I'm sick and tired of the corruption that's running through this city. People around here spend half their lives terrified about being backstabbed, and spend the rest of it planning on how they're going to screw over someone else. Something rotten is going on in this company, and one day, I hope to find out what it is. She's my boss. She's fine, I guess. Look, like I said, I don't want to get into serious trouble. She might be a bit tough on all of us, but being responsible for Neon's power grid is a very stressful position. Sometimes that stress trickles down. I've only been working here for a few years now, and she's been my boss the entire time. Well, the big boss is our CEO, Mr. Harada. But I've actually never met him. He lives somewhere in New Atlantis, I think. Sure, no problem. That's an excellent question, and the answer for it is surprisingly simple. The conduction grid is only effective in lightning-rich environments. That's why Volai was chosen as its prime. Genodyne has always hoped to adapt the grid's absorption technology for other applications, but nothing public has ever been announced. Genodyne was founded in 2232 by the original designer of it. Working from her facility in Neon, it took her almost 25 years to get. That was Genodyne's first, and the span above the city is outfitted with a specially developed electromagnetic. When a lightning discharge hits the span, the energy is then transferred through a series of polyphasic capacitors and rectifiers to ensure all of the negative and positive strikes are equalized. At this point, the energy is clean, and it gets stored in massive storage cells in Neon's underbelly, from which it's parceled out and used for power. Hope to see you again soon.
Another day, another shift.
I didn't sign on for these kind of illegal shenanigans.
Seems like the Crimson Fleet is heavy.
Have you tried one of our advanced teller machines? You'll make it.
Here in Neon, you'll engineers and design everything you need for all your daily adventures. Like Ryujin Industries.
You need to move some merch. If it's too hot to handle, always happy to take your money. If you, find anything else, make sure you bring it to me.
Want to challenge your ready to make your systems best available and exclusive. Each of our baristas undergoes advanced training. You really going to walk?
I'm an artist. If you want, I can turn your ribcage into a night rack.
Hey there.
If you're planning on using Aurora, you people should leave her alone. What do you want with her? Not that it's any of your business, but we're very close. We're in love. I refuse to let anything bad happen to her, no matter how much trouble she's gotten herself into. Yeah, sure. Tell me another one. You debt collectors are low-life assholes. She's broke, okay? Now get out of my club before I get really pissed off and have you thrown into the street.
Really? I'd like to see you try.
The Crimson Fleet? Oh my, I'm sorry. I had no idea. I didn't mean anything by it, really. Sorry, well, I worry about her. Ayumi owes a lot of money around town. I'm trying to help her out, but, you know, I have a business to keep afloat. If you want to talk to her, you can find her in the members' lounge. You already have access, so you should know the way. Enjoy your stay.
Nothing beats getting zoned in the members' lounge.
What's up?
Yeah. What do you want? Before you continue, let me save you some time. If you're having a problem with your POW or complain about your rates, you need to contact our customer service department. Anything else? You must be zoned out of your mind, because there's no way anyone sober would say something like that. You're serious? Okay, then let me ask you a question, genius. Do you really think I'd risk my position as COO of Generdyne for a few credits? I don't think so. The Crimson Fleet, huh? This is interesting. So tell me, what does Delgado need with my pass to Generdyne? No. You don't just waltz in here and throw the Crimson Fleet onto the table without giving answers. If Delgado wants in, and I'm going to put my ass on the line, I want everything out in the open. So, let me get this straight. You want me to sneak you into Generdyne so you can steal the only profitable piece of technology the company's come up with in decades. If you expect me to take a risk like that, then it's going to cost you some major credits. I see there's no fooling you. That's still worth something, though. So pay up, or no pass. Fine. It'll have to do. Here, take this pass. It should get you through the storage room entry to the facility. I'm warning you, though. Once you're inside, you're trespassing in a high-security zone. That means they shoot on sight. Good luck. You're going to need it.
That side is ours. Strike.
If I have to eat fish for dinner one more time.
Oh, it smells horrible down here. Oh, how can these workers stand the smell of rotten fish and goodness knows what else? Must be a lot of valuable tech disappearing from Generdyne to justify all the scrutiny of their own employees.
too bad all that extra money ends up in the CEO's account. What I'm making now. Damn it! Let's do this. Let's go!
I'm hit!
Running away, eh?
I can't do this! I lost
You're
them.
mine! Bring it on!
Can't take it!
Going out!
Just give up already!
Watch out! Ha! You're a damn joke.
Can't take it!
Don't leave any of that behind.
Through! This isn't worth it! This is hopeless. I'm out.
Got a present for ya. And stay down.
I'm out of here.
Throwing a grenade. You've got nothing. Nothing.
I guess they ran away.
Oh, you're going to regret this. This is hopeless. Come out.
Got another one!
We're under attack. This is bad.
Get back here! Damn it! You won't get away, hear me?
Kill them! Take them down!
I can't do this.
You're dead. This is hopeless. I'm out.
This isn't worth it!
it.
Something there?
I'm out of here! Teach him a lesson! Lay out the fire! I'm going for it! What was that? Where'd you go? Can't take it!
Watch out! There's somebody else here.
This is a forfeit!
This is one! I'm out!
Officers, cover me!
Show me what you've got.
Take
Damn,
him
they're
down!
gone!
Down!
Piss me off!
Take it!
Catastrophic damage.
Come on!
I don't stock up on junk.
Contact lost.
I'm going to end you!
Done yet?
Here it comes!
Take him down!
Get
Out
down!
of there!
Bring it on!
Got him! Suspect found!
Ha! Let's do this! Going out!
Stop! Please! Don't shoot. If you want the encryption cipher, you're welcome to it. There's no need for all this violence. When you access the computer in the power core, it sends a notification to me here. I knew you were coming, I just didn't know when.
They got lucky.
No, no catch. I'm not trying to trick you. You want the cipher? It's yours. At this point, I'd do anything to get back at my brother. He deserves everything he's got coming to him. Oh, don't patronize me. I know I'm no prize winner myself, but at least I don't spend my days trying to screw everyone over. You know, I've spent my entire life living in Ben's shadow. Everything always works out for him, while I've been bouncing from one job to the next, barely keeping afloat. And all the while, he laughs at me behind my back. Thinks it's hilarious to make fun of his stupid brother. Like I wouldn't eventually find out.
Tyrants like your brother eventually fall. It's inevitable. Perhaps you should just give it some time.
One advantage to being perceived as stupid is that no one takes you seriously. When I walk into a party, I'm instantly the resident social pariah. But my eyes and ears are wide open. I can't tell you the number of times I've overheard that my brother has spread amusing anecdotes about his stupid brother. That wouldn't do any good. For every scheme he's gotten himself into, he has a bulletproof exit strategy. Man's virtually immortal.
Ugh, that's true. He's a slippery man who can worm his way out of any legal situation.
You know what? I am sick to death of being pushed around. It's my turn to take control for once. The passcode for my terminal is GEN-41A18. That should give you access to the cipher and whatever else you need. I'm getting out of here while I still can. After you're done, I suggest you do the same. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, I'm at about, I don't know, a -8. I don't have the background for this electrical engineering stuff. Chief technician? It's ridiculous. Ben stuck me down here expecting me to work miracles. He didn't stop for even a second to think of the repercussions. That's so typical. All I need is one breakthrough. One. And I could shove this job right in his face. Damn, that would feel good. Of course. The storage tech that Dr. Corbin came up with. How could I miss that? Generdyne could make a fortune selling those to outposts for power collection purposes. It's perfect. Thank you for giving me that kick in the ass I needed to get going. Because he's a two-faced son of a bitch, that's why. It's not like I should be surprised. When we were younger, we never got along very well. I mean, he's 11 years older than I am. We had 2 different mothers. Might as well have been from 2 separate families. That's an understatement. I never knew my actual mother. She was my father's mistress. And I was told she vanished from Neon when I was only 2 years old. Ben's mother, she didn't give a crap about me. Wouldn't even let me call her Mom. I just had to call her Liliana. Can you imagine? And then there's Dad. So buried in the day-to-day operations of Neon, he didn't have time to pay attention to his bastard son. Yeah, I've tried, but I always hit a dead end. It's as though she was here one day and suddenly vanished the next. And then her existence was erased from everyone's memory. I wouldn't be at all surprised if my father had her killed to avoid public embarrassment. That's the kind of man he was. Yeah, everyone's sorry. Just as sorry as I am. Look, I appreciate what you're trying to do, and it's nice to get this off my chest, but talking about it isn't going to change a thing. That's why I gave you the encryption cipher. Anything I can do to stick it to Ben, that's the real therapy. As usual, you can thank my dear brother for that. At first, he made me deputy administrator. That went well, until I wouldn't cooperate with Owen Dexler and all of his thugs at Neon Security. Then he had me work with Valentina over at Xenofresh, helping with Aurora distribution, until she pinned a credit-skimming scam on me. And now, here I am, chief technician at Generdyne, when I don't even know the first thing about electrical engineering. Do me a favor and don't tell my brother we talked. He, wouldn't like it.
What are you
No
doing?
way!
Ah, there you are. What kept you? I believe we have a lot to discuss. It's obvious you're here to meet someone. Fortunately for them, they rented this VIP room under a false name. I assume that same someone provided you with that clever little virus you installed into Generdyne's systems. Well, yes. You didn't think your little foray into Generdyne would go completely undetected, did you? All too well. You know, I should give credit where it's due. That virus is quite impressive. It will cost me tens of thousands of credits to remove. That's the last time I'll ever take the Crimson Fleet's capabilities for granted. Because, like the majority of revenue-generating businesses in the city, I have a vested interest in Generdyne's profits. But more importantly than simply losing money, I don't like anything in my city being interfered with without my approval. And I'm a businessman, which means I know when to walk away from a deal. You want to know why? It's because I don't negotiate with pirates. They don't understand commitments or contracts. How to get the deal done with finesse. No. For your kind, it's only brute force and violence. Shoot first, take whatever you want, and ask questions later. That's not how I do business. It may seem that way, but for every rival I've had thrown into the ocean, I've made 2 times as many legitimate deals. Look, I'm not here to debate. I'm here to make an offer. All you have to do is tell me who's profiting from the virus you've uploaded. In return, I'll let you leave the city alive.
You make my skin crawl, Bayou.
You don't have to worry about that in the least. You point me to our little mole, and I'll do the rest. You don't even have to get your hands dirty. Really? That's the story you're going with? Very well. There's a body that Neon Security is going to be discovering very soon. One with concrete evidence that links you to the murder. I'd say you have about 1 hour to leave this place before you have a price on your head.
You'd have someone killed to pin the crime on us. Oh, you're a wretched excuse for a human being, Bayou.
So, I assume this concludes our little arrangement, and you'll be leaving our fair city. Oh, when you get back to the Key, be certain to give Neva and Delgado my warmest regards. Ah, there you are. It's obvious you're here to meet. I assume that's it. Well, yes. You didn't think your little... All too well. You know, I should give credit where it's due. That virus is... That's the last... Because, like the majority, but more importantly, normally, I might be inclined to accept such a generous offer, but in this case, I'm going to decline. You know why? It's because I don't negotiate with... No. It may seem that way. Look, I'm not here to debate. All you have to do is tell me who's profiting from the virus you've uploaded. In return, I'll let you leave the city alive.
You make my skin crawl.
You don't have to worry about that in the least. You point me to our little mole, and I'll do the rest. You don't even have to get your hands dirty. My dear friend, you couldn't possibly offer me enough money to offset the embarrassment that this has caused. I'm afraid you'll just have to reveal your source. Hey, anyone in there? Let's go, time is money. You going to just stand there looking stupid, or are we having a conversation? Hello? Hello? Anyone in there? Let's go. One of your own, I believe. Interesting. Well, unfortunately for Ms. Vincent, she won't be joining us for the rest of her life.
Your lack of value for human life makes you a wretched excuse for a human being, Bayou.
So, I assume this concludes our little arrangement, and you'll be leaving our fair city. Oh, when you get back to the key, be certain to give Neva and Delgado my warmest regards.
solid docking job there. Nice work.
Captain, greetings.
All hell's breaking loose, Rook. Delgado needs you in the repair bay with Jazz as soon as possible. Oh, it's bad. Real bad. Delgado will fill you in with the details. Now get your ass to the repair bay. Go!
Nothing like the smell of a dead shark.
I always thought E-leeches were just pests. Never considered trying to raise one.
And you are sure we will have those defense batteries up and running?
No. I'm not sure. They're in bad shape, Del. Really bad shape. I'm already using duct tape and spit to keep the station from falling apart, and you want me to pull a rabbit out of my hat?
I don't want to hear excuses. I want to hear that it's going to be fixed. Period. Get it done.
All right. I'm on it.
You want to quit standing there and hand over the conduction grid data?
Perfect. I'll take that.
Dependable as always. Unlike some people we know.
Oh, that's real funny.
All right, listen up because I don't want to repeat this twice. We've gotten word that UC SysDef is massing somewhere nearby for an attack on the key. While we prepare for their arrival, I want you to head straight for Bannock 4 and bring Crix's legacy home. Oh my God. Haven't you been paying attention? The only reason half the fleet's captains haven't scattered across the settled systems is because no money means no protection. No protection means we are done when SysDef arrives. I have a very reliable source at Mast. They were so concerned that the threat was real, they actually jumped the information out to us right away. Just slow down and listen before you jump the gun and ruin everything. Lay it out, Jess.
All right, first things first. I'm gonna upload this data you snagged from Generdyne into the Key's databanks. All you need to do is build and then install a conduction grid module onto your ship. Oh, and if you haven't already, you'll need the CommSpike module installed as well.
While we're at it, perhaps we should fetch your groceries for you as well?
Once your ship is ready, jump out to Bannock 4, board the Legacy, and bring us the cash. Everything you'll need for ship repair and construction is down in Jass's section of the Key. If you have any questions about the modules, she'll have all the answers. You better pray that isn't the case, because that means we are done. As in, no more Crimson Fleet. Of course there's a catch. What, you thought this would be easy?
After you board the Legacy, be on the lookout for 2 transfer modules. They're special keys that allow access to the ship's vault. Once you locate the vault's control center, hook up the data core I'm gonna give you, and download everything they've got.
And before you get any bright ideas, like running off with the money, that currency is going to be heavily encrypted. Only a genius like Shinya will be able to crack that encryption, so bring it back here right away. Because those Galbank ships were carrying so much money, they didn't even trust their own crew. That would be a first. I have yet to see encrypted currency that Shinya could not manipulate within hours. I mean, the guy plugs his body directly into his mainframe. He eats, breathes, and shits numbers all day. No, I'm not worried about him. Yeah? I sure hope so. Look, I'm gonna make this real simple for you. If that money ends up anywhere but the key, I will hunt you down and pry it out of your dead hands myself. Now get moving. The toughest nut to crack is if UC Sistef brings in the Vigilance. That Commander Ikande has himself a hell of a ship there. Advanced shield tech, bristling with weapons. I would love to see that thing burn. If we hope to stand a chance against it, we need those defensive batteries, and Krix's legacy. The Crimson Fleet isn't really a fleet. It's an ideal. A principle that Krix sought to set up so that pirates didn't infight over scraps. Over time, that notion has been lost. Captains have been turning their backs on the fleet, doing jobs on the side, killing each other. Bringing Krix's legacy back to the fleet would be like validating everything Jasper Krix believed in. And I'm certain it would unify us once again. Of course, it wouldn't exactly hurt to have all that extra money at our disposal. But I think you catch my meaning. You've met some of them already. Mathis Castillo, Yevgeny Rokov, Juan Dayu, Estelle Vincent, and Adler Kemp. They might feel like independents to you, but each one of them has a stake in the Crimson Fleet, and each one of them wants a cut of the wealth. I am sending word out to every able-bodied captain that they are needed. We'll see how many answer the call. Get moving before it's too late.